biggest problem that we're facing as an industry in Florida, we have over 400 breweries in the state of Florida right now.
Okay.
Okay. But you have a handful of distributors.
Okay.
Okay. And in the state of Florida, we have a strict 3-tier system. So that means manufacturer has to sell to the distributor, has to sell to the retailer. In other words, you've been to my brewery.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Fitz down the street?
No.
Okay, there's a bar down the street called the Fitz.
Okay.
I cannot sell a beer out of my brewery to the Fitz.
Can I sell a beer to the Fitz? Maybe we can work something out.
Go get a distribution license. We can talk. So I have to sell my beer to a distributor in order for it to be brought to the distributor's warehouse and then brought to the Fitz. So even if he's right there, I can't bring it there. Okay, that's the way it works. So one of the things we're fighting for is the ability to self-distribute, which means that we'll be able to do something like that. Okay. I like my distributors. I have 2 distributors that I work with. They do a good job. I don't really want to distribute. I've been a distributor. I owned a distributorship. It's a very challenging business also, and I don't want to do that. I have other things. I'm busy making beer.
Yeah.
So, but there are breweries out there that want to be able to do that, and it would be nice if I could, even with having a distributor, be able to, hey, Friday night, I just blew a keg of beer. I'm right down the street. Can I come get a keg? Yes, you can come get a keg, and I don't have to go through my distributor who closed 3 hours ago. You know,
right.
So
let's say I want to buy a keg of beer. Can I do that?
So you can do that as an individual through my tasting room. So
Okay.
I can retail it to you, but you don't have a beer license. You don't have a license to sell beer. So that's legal.
Okay, so you can sell it directly to consumer.
I can sell directly to you, but I can't sell it directly to a bar that has a license.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yep. Well, everybody wants their taxes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of taxes built into this thing, too.
It add a lot of cost. Like all of the red tape that we have adds so much cost that we don't see on everything.
So let me give you the worst case scenario of this thing. The worst case scenario is you are a brewer in Key West.
Oh, fuck. That must be horrible.
Okay. There are no distributors in Key West. Guess why? Why would you want to have a distributor in Key West?
Well, it's so fucking far.
So you have to drive, your beer has to drive all the way from Key West all the way up to Miami to sit in the warehouse, then get delivered all the way back to Key West to go across the street.
Oh, cool.
Yay.
Is there really brewery in Key West?
That's really environmentally friendly. Don't you think so?
Oh, yeah.
How is it going as far as like trying to win this?
It's a challenge. Anything you have to do in legislature is a challenge. I mean, and we're fighting against distributors. Distributors don't want to change the way we do business in the state. They like their business. They have a business. They have a business they have to defend, and they want to do their business.
Yeah, of course they're going to fight for it.
I think, trust me, I don't hate distributors. I like my distributor. I want my distributor to be healthy and help me grow my business. So I'm not fighting against distributors. I'm just saying there should be other options and other ways to do it.
So you're saying it should be freer?
A little bit freer, yeah. We have a website called freedomforbeer.com. So check that out sometime. It's got a lot of stuff. The other thing is, too, this is even worse than what I just described to you. So the state of Florida, in the beer industry alone, not in wine, not in liquor, there's a thing called franchise law. And franchise law protects the distributors from losing brands of beer. So basically, you write a contract, you sign with a distributor, you sign a contract with them, you put all this stuff into it. Hey, we have to do this, we have to do that. You're going to be held to this if there's ever a problem, blah, 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 if you do this. Just like any other contract and any other business agreement.
Right.
And then you can, if you have a business agreement with somebody, you have a contract with them, you go by what's in the contract, right? Not in the state of Florida. The state of Florida says you're subject to franchise law. You can't get out of that contract if you wanted to because you are stuck and they can do whatever they want to. And you're held to that level of standard not only for your lifetime, but for everybody else's lifetime, too. The distributor can sell your brand to another distributor without your consent.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
How does that work?
Because the state of Florida has this thing called franchise law that protects them.
Well, Ron, let's fucking figure that out. I mean, it should be too hard.
So we can talk about a little bit about the history of that. And the history of that is that back in the I believe it was in the 80s when this franchise law first started, was that you had Anheuser-Busch distributors and Miller distributors, right? And particularly in the state, like I was saying earlier, there wasn't a lot of other brands out there.
Yeah.
So Anheuser-Busch distributors were selling 99% Anheuser-Busch product, right? And Miller distributors were selling 99% Miller product.
Of course.
Right? So they wanted to protect themselves from losing those brands.
Of course.
Okay. So the idea was that they would create a law that protected themselves from those brands walking away and ruining their business.
Of course.
Totally makes sense.
Back
I mean,
then.
if you're in
From their
business
side.
in that situation, yeah, 100% makes sense. But now you come, to 2023 and you have Anheuser-Busch and you have Miller and you have Guinness and you have Bass and you have, Corona and you have all these other brands, Coors Light and God knows how many other small brands and small breweries like myself that are representing part of their business. Well, we're held to the same standard that Anheuser-Busch or Miller is held to because they represent so much business. Even if I sell 1/100th or 1/1000th of the beer to that distributor, I'm still held to the same standard that they're held to in terms of leaving that distributorship.
That's crazy. This one size fits all
Yeah.
mentality, and
Yeah.
because I understand the argument back then when they tried to figure that out.
100%.
Because if you only distribute that beer and then they leave, then you're fucked.
Yeah, 100%. and we're not, and there's a person who, again, going back to say, I'm not trying to destroy somebody's business. We're not trying to destroy your business, but it's also doesn't make sense for you to hold us to the same standard that you hold your major business to when we only represent a little trinket in your portfolio, So it's not the same, not one size fits all, as you like to say. So